I still can't believe that Season 1 of Monarch has finally come to an end. Even if it had colored me disappointed in the middle, the last 2 episodes were surely bangers. It was everything we Monsterverse enthusiasts needed to amp up our anticipation for the new Godzilla x Kong film. And as far as the kaiju action throughout the series goes, we've gotten plenty of Godzilla screen time alongside a pretty diverse roster of other monsters to tickle our brain. And that magnificent fight scene between Godzilla and the Ion Dragon truly was the primary highlight of the entire season. After the Frostvark, if any new kaiju has driven my attention, it is surely the Ion Dragon. From the monster's design to its concept, the makers have surely put in the hours to bring it to life, and it sure shows. I mean, sure, the last episode canceled out all the inherent wokeness from the season's initial run, with its amazing human characters emotionally peaking at their own narratives, but come on, that has nothing over Godzilla emerging out of nowhere to mop the floor with the Ion Dragon. Now, in this video, we will discuss everything we know about the Ion Dragon through its appearances in Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Although it was barely given more than 10 minutes of screen time on the show, I think we have everything we need to go about this video. So without wasting another second, let's get right to it. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is the Ion Dragon? The concept of the Ion Dragon as a kaiju was first introduced in the 2017 Monsterverse film Kong Skull Island, and later featured for the first time in the 2023 Apple TV Plus series Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. In Skull Island, while being questioned by Lieutenant Colonel Preston Packard following the encounter with Kong, Monarch agent Bill Randa recalled his harrowing experience as the sole survivor of the USS Lawton ship, which fell victim to a colossal monsters assault back in 1943. His vivid description characterized this creature as lacking conscience or reasoning, driven solely by a destructive impulse. The Ion Dragon made its initial appearance in the Monarch: Legacy of Monsters second episode titled Departure. This draconic titan even played a pivotal role as the only kaiju antagonist to go one-on-one with Godzilla himself. Now, the Ion Dragon's name was first revealed by series co-creator Chris Black and visual effects supervisor Sean Conrad in an interview. This interview not only unveiled the dragon's name, but also shed light on the mystery surrounding the USS Lawton ship, which was a topic previously discussed between William Randa and Preston Packard in the 2017 film Kong Skull Island. In line with Monarch's protocol for unidentified superspecies, the Ion Dragon falls right under the classification of Massive Unidentified Terrestrial Organism, or MUTO. Interestingly, even after 10 episodes, the complete name of the Ion Dragon remains unspoken throughout Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. But in Episode 2, Bill Randa and Lee Shaw simply referred to it as a dragon, while Randa specifically terms it the Lawton Dragon in Episode 8. Every time the Ion Dragon appeared in Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, a smaller version of this aerial beast first appeared in Episode 2, Departure. So, for centuries, the Ion Dragon had been a resident of the Philippines, following a well-established migration path through the skies. But its historic presence took a dark turn in 1943 when it sank the USS Lawton, located 200 miles west of Hawaii. The Ion Dragon not only claimed the vessel, but also turned it into a macabre tomb, encasing the entire crew in its nacre, with only Bill Randa escaping the grim fate. Now, in 1952, Dr. Keiko Miura, accompanied by Lieutenant Lee Shaw, pursued a radiation trail leading them to the Philippines, where they encountered Bill Randa for the first time. While Keiko was on the island investigating peculiar radioactive isotopes, Randa was drawn to the island by native legends of a dragon creating a path of fire. Although the isotopes were unrelated to bomb fallout, it intrigued both the scientists because Billy's investigation, rooted in local folklore, somehow aligned with Keiko's scientific findings, much to Lee's chagrin, who was skeptical about the entire thing. Irritated by their shared enthusiasm for their respective respective fields, Lee leaves, leaving Billy and Keiko to delve into their discoveries, aligning with the dragon's migration path and Mura's radiation data. As they ventured into the jungle, they stumbled upon an unexpected sight of an American battleship, which turned out to be the Lawton, strangely positioned at least 5,000 miles away from its wartime location. In no time, Billy recognizes the ship as the one he survived in 1943 after it collided with an unidentified entity. This traumatic memory fueled Billy's belief that the incident surely involved a Muto, aka a massive unidentified terrestrial organism. As Mura and Randa began exploring inside the ship, they discovered the preserved bodies of the sailors enveloped in a viscous nacre, which almost made them reconsider their choice to venture into such an uncharted territory. The ominous atmosphere escalated when the Ion Dragon, having claimed the ship as its territory, came back to attack the duo. The creature relentlessly tore through the decaying metal hull, prompting the wreck to collapse. While Lee had almost gone his own way, he observed a celestial path in the sky, which alerted him to arrive just in time to assist Billy and Keiko in their escape. As the trio took cover, the Ion Dragon literally broke out of the warship, only to circle back to perch on the Lawton wreckage, and unleashed a powerful yet angry roar as the three watched in disbelief. The Ion Dragon wrecked Operation Hourglass even before it began. In 1962, Monarch orchestrated Operation Hourglass, which was a daring expedition into Axis Mundi, utilizing an entrance located in the state of Kansas, USA. Now, this mission aimed to stabilize the portal, employing a gamma-ray simulator to attract a Titan, and it was an Ion Dragon who responded to the simulation, making its way towards the portal until the simulator was deactivated. This strategic move allowed Lieutenant Lee Shaw and his reconnaissance team to stealthily trail the dragon using their reconnaissance pod. Once the gamma radiation simulator served its purpose and was deactivated, the Ion Dragon, with the Monarch reconnaissance pod in pursuit, returned back to the Axis Mundi. Unexpectedly, as the team from the surface world attempted to make contact with the Axis Mundi, the portal imploded for reasons unknown, trapping Lee and his colleagues within. Even when they tried to reach out and make contact with the Monarch team on the surface, they were attacked by the Ion Dragon out of the blue. While wreaking havoc on the Monarch team in Axis Mundi, the kaiju consumed at least one member of the group before soaring back through an adjacent portal, leaving the remaining team in a precarious situation of chaos within the mysterious realm. A fully evolved version of the Ion Dragon went one-on-one with Godzilla in the last episode. In 2015, Lee Shaw, along with May, Keiko, and Kate Randa, found themselves trapped in Axis Mundi, desperately attempting to escape using the pod from Operation Hourglass. Their plan involved activating the gamma ray simulator to attract a Titan from the surface through a portal for stabilization. However, instead of luring the intended Titan, a huge Ion Dragon responded to the simulator, rapidly disturbing the connection between the pod and the gamma ray simulator, which was under Lee's control. When faced with the imminent danger of the Titan crushing the pod and endangering everyone inside, Lee made a courageous decision to exit and re-establish the connection manually. But the situation grew tense as the Titan flying ahead prepared to devour the group, raising the specter of destruction for the pod. Just as all hope seemed lost, an unexpected savior emerged through the mystical rift, drawn by the Titan caller, and it was none other than Godzilla himself. Godzilla's seamless entry into Axis Mundi from a glowing rift set the stage for an intense battle with the Ion Dragon, who flew up to position itself behind Godzilla and launched a fierce attack, initiating a brutal melee between the Titans. During the battle, the Ion Dragon managed to seize Godzilla's head with its thagomizers, biting into his throat. However, Godzilla retaliated by tearing off a thagomizer and sending the Ion Dragon soaring into a mountain. As the clash continued, the Ion Dragon expelled nacre from its throat in an attempt to blind Godzilla. But an unfazed Godzilla responded with a powerful body slam and a brief burst of atomic breath. Ultimately, Godzilla seized control and put the kaiju in its place by tearing off its right wing before hurling it into a nearby vile vortex, marking the climax of their fierce confrontation. What does the Ion Dragon look like? Apparently, the inspiration behind the creation of the Ion Dragon was drawn from various real-life animals. It was the show's VFX supervisor, Sean Conrad, who revealed that the creature's wings were modeled after the fins of flying fish, scientifically known as exocetidae, while its jaws took inspiration from the distinctive features of anglerfish. Additionally, elements from diverse animals like birds, sharks, and hyenas were also seamlessly incorporated into the overall design of the Ion Dragon. He also mentioned that throughout the creative process, the creature's proportions underwent constant adjustments to ensure a plausible and realistic appearance, particularly in terms of its ability to convincingly navigate the skies. Known for its colossal size and remarkable aerial prowess, the Ion Dragon showcases a melanistic coloration and is distinguished by a pair of expansive membranous wings. Each wing on the beast has partially detached digits, resembling claw-like formations similar to bat wings, with wing membranes similar to that of the fins observed in a flying fish. The kaiju's cranium is adorned with a prominent pair of horns, evoking a bovine-like appearance which further contributes to its unique visual profile. Coming to the mandibular structure of the Ion Dragon, it combines the features observed in an anglerfish and avian species, featuring a needle-like dentition, a bifurcated beak on its upper jaw, and gill-like structures flanking the neck on either side. Plus, the monster's digitigrade hind legs culminate in a 3-digit grasping talon, accompanied by a vestigial toe. Along its back, a dorsal arrangement of spikes span, with 2 particularly noticeable spikes positioned almost like a shark's dorsal fin. And finally, its elongated saurian tail concludes with a pair of gracefully curved spikes. By 2015, which is over 6 decades since its initial sighting, the Ion Dragon had undergone significant growth, now twice more than the size of its juvenile form. How dangerous is the Ion Dragon? The Ion Dragon wields extremely sharp claws on all fours, which were capable of even tearing through the sturdy hull of the USS Lawton, showcasing its immense strength. Upon reaching its full matured size, these claws and talons gain the capacity to cut deep into the hide of indomitable titans like Godzilla, which inflicted substantial lacerations on him. As a testament to its resilience, the Ion Dragon even endured Godzilla's atomic breath, even if it did sustain mild scalding during the encounter, and impressively, it even managed to persist briefly after Godzilla tore off its right wing. Being true to its name, the Ion Dragon boasts the capability of full-powered flight, using its 2 expansive membranous wings as it easily guides through hollow Earth portals, utilizing vortex currents to glide at high speeds. During its confrontation with Godzilla, the Ion Dragon strategically utilized its advantage to fly in order to evade the Titan's reach. On a side note, as the Ion Dragon flies through the sky, the creature emits radioactive ions into the air, creating stunning aurora-like patterns in the sky. It was the same pattern that a young Lee used to trail Bill and Keiko while they were under the dragon's attack at the battleship. Another unique ability of the Ion Dragon involves expelling viscous nacre from its mouth. This substance serves to encapsulate the bodies of its prey, perfectly preserving them for extended periods while preventing any decomposition. The executive producer of the show, Matt Shackman, mentioned that there are many potential reasons for this weird behavior, ranging from facilitating a phase in its life cycle to merely preserving bodies just to eat them later. In addition to that, the Ion Dragon also used its viscous nacre to disorient Godzilla amidst their intense battle. By now, you might have already figured that the Ion Dragon boasts an impressive level of strength, exemplified by its ability to transport the USS Lawton, which is a United States Fletcher-class destroyer ship, all the way from Hawaii to the Philippines. And given the fact that it almost stuck through an intense combat with an alpha titan like Godzilla is truly commendable, because I surely thought that Godzilla would chow this one down in seconds. Nonetheless, it did meet a painful end at the alpha kaiju's hand, almost like it was being torn to shreds. Lastly, the Ion Dragon's tail is equipped with a distinctive feature known as a thagomizer, which consists of 3 spiked protrusions almost resembling a trident. This specialized appendage is capable of clenching and grasping opponents during combat, The Thagomizer's strength was evident in its ability to briefly restrain Godzilla's head, providing the Ion Dragon with a strategic advantage as it bit into the Titan's throat. Honestly, as far as kaijus go, the Ion Dragon is unnervingly lethal, territorial, and aggressive. This guy truly is rabid and unpredictable, and can probably decimate cities even when it is unprovoked. Marvelous verdict. So apparently the Ion Dragon really is a nod to Filipino folklore, which speaks of Minakawa, which is a giant dragon-like bird that served as an explanation for eclipses as it wanted to devour the sun and the moon. Anyways, we are literally talking about a creature that secretes suffocating and blinding fluid from its mouth while discharging radioactive ion through its path. All in all, Monsterverse indeed has done it again. First with Frostfark, and now with the Ion Dragon. But there is one thing I keep wondering about. Who would win in a fight between the Frostfark and an Ion Dragon? What do you guys think? Let us know of your theories in the comment box below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.